It was supposed to be just a company dinner. Nothing fancy, just good food, a few drinks, and Emily getting the chance to shine in front of David, her boss. She had been talking about that promotion for months, the one that would finally make all the late nights and weekend emails worth it. I wasn't even planning to go. Work had been busy, and honestly, corporate dinners aren't really my thing. But she looked at me with those big hopeful eyes and said, "You should come, Jake. Everyone will love you. They really will." So I went. The restaurant was one of those places where the lights are low, the wine is expensive, and people laugh a little too loud to prove they're comfortable. Emily was already there when I arrived, sitting next to David. She looked beautiful, new dress, hair perfect, smile bright. When she saw me, she stood up quickly and pulled me into the group. "Guys, this is Jake," she said, her voice light and proud at first. Then she added, "My little handyman. He's amazing at fixing things around the house." A ripple of polite laughter moved around the table. I smiled, the kind of smile you give when you're trying not to react. David, sitting at the head like he owned the night, raised his glass. "Well, Emily," he said with a smirk, "at least you've got someone reliable to fix your leaky pipes." More laughter. Louder this time. Emily laughed too. The loudest of all. I sat down beside her, feeling the chair suddenly feel too small. She leaned over, still smiling, and whispered, "They're just teasing, babe. Relax." I nodded. Said nothing. The conversation rolled on. Projects, deadlines, who was getting what bonus. Every time David made a joke, Emily laughed like it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. Every time someone asked me something, she answered for me. "Jake's not really into all this corporate stuff," she said at one point, patting my arm like I was a child. "He's more of a keep it simple kind of guy." That was when something inside me shifted. Not anger exactly. More like clarity. I looked at her, really looked, and saw someone I barely recognized. The woman who used to brag about how hard I worked, how I built things with my hands, how I never gave up, that woman was gone. In her place was someone trying very hard to look important. I waited for a quiet moment. Then I spoke, voice calm, steady. "You're right, Em. I don't really get the corporate world." I paused, looked straight at her. "I don't understand why someone would trade their self-respect for a better title. But maybe you can explain it to me later." The table went quiet. David coughed. Shifted in his seat. "Hey, man," he said, trying to laugh it off, "we're just messing around. No harm meant." Emily touched my arm. Forced a smile. "Babe, come on. You're taking it too seriously." I turned to her slowly. "No, Emily. I'm just realizing something. You like to perform. That's fine. But every performer needs an audience." I looked around the table, then back at her. "And I'm done watching." I stood up. Picked up my jacket. Pulled a few bills from my wallet and dropped them on the table for the drinks we'd had. Before I walked away, I looked at David one last time. "You should probably stop flirting with married women in front of their husbands. It makes you look desperate. And trust me, there's nothing attractive about that." His jaw tightened. Emily's face drained of color. "Jake, stop," she whispered. But I was already moving. I walked out of that restaurant without looking back. The night air felt clean. Sharp. Real. My phone started buzzing before I even reached the car. "Emily." Again. And again. I didn't answer. I drove home in silence. Packed a duffel bag with the basics, clothes, toothbrush, a few tools I actually liked using. On the kitchen counter I left a single sheet of paper. "You wanted to laugh, right? Enjoy the silence now." I stayed at my friend Ryan's place for the first few nights. He didn't ask many questions, just handed me a beer and let me sleep on the couch. The next morning she showed up. Eyes red. Makeup smudged. Voice shaking, "It was just a stupid joke, Jake. I didn't mean anything by it. You embarrassed me in front of everyone. I looked at her for a long moment. No, Em. You embarrassed yourself. I just stopped being your punchline. She reached for my hand. Tears running. I'm sorry. I really am. I stepped back. I don't have time for this right now. Those were the exact words she'd said to me 3 months earlier when I asked her to come home early for our anniversary dinner. Funny how life works. A week later, Ryan told me the office gossip had spread fast. Apparently someone else had already complained about David's behavior before that night. My words just gave everyone permission to speak up. He got a formal warning. A permanent note in his file. Emily's name came up too. Not in a good way. People talked. They always do. Months passed. I found a new place. Small, quiet, mine. I took a job with a local construction company, nothing glamorous, just honest work. Building things. Fixing things. The kind of work that leaves you tired in a good way. I met new people, people who laughed with me, not at me. The pain didn't disappear overnight. Some nights I still remembered her laugh, the one she gave David that night, and it hurt. But the hurt got smaller. Quieter. And slowly, something better grew in its place. Clarity. Self-respect. The knowledge that I didn't have to shrink myself to fit someone else's story. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do isn't shouting. Isn't fighting. It's standing up, speaking the truth in a calm voice, and walking away while they're still trying to figure out what just happened. That night at the restaurant, I didn't just wipe the smiles off their faces. I erased the version of me that ever tolerated being the joke. And I've never looked back.